Good afternoon, students. Today, I want to explain commercial importance of polymers. Okay, this is the one important topic present in polymer chemistry. Okay, here I took 6 polymers. One is polypropylene. Here I took 6 polymers: polypropylene, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, urea formaldehyde resin. UF resin means urea formaldehyde resin. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. Glyptol. Okay, bakelite. 6 polymers. Okay, here which monomer present in polypropylene? Polyethylene. Ethylene is the monomer. Polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is the monomer. Polyacrylonitrile. Acrylonitrile is the monomer. Polystyrene. Styrene is the monomer. Here also say polypropylene contain propene monomer. Okay, here structure of propene is CH2, CH double bond, CH2. Okay, this is the propene, this is the monomer. This is the structure of CH3, CH2, sorry, CH. Okay, here CH2, CH2, CH3, CH, CH2 taken n times. This is the structure of polypropylene. And here, importance of polypropylene is it is used for the manufacture of, okay, manufacture of ropes, manufacture of toys, manufacture of pipes, and manufacture of fibers. Manufacture of fibers. Manufacture of fibers here. And here one more polymer is there, polystyrene. Okay, here I want to write structure of polystyrene. This is the structure of styrene. Okay, this is the monomer which is present in polystyrene. This is the structure of polystyrene. Here pH means phenyl group. This is used for the manufacture of insulators, wrapping material, toys, radio and TV carbonates. Radio and TV carbonates. And here I will take PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Okay, here the monomer which is present in this polyvinyl chloride is vinyl chloride. CH2 CHCl taken n times. This is the structure of, okay, here structure of polyvinyl chloride. This is used for the preparation of raincoats, handbags, vinyl flooring sheets and flexi seats, and here water pipes. It is used for water pipe, manufacture of water pipes. And here I will take one more, urea formaldehyde resin. Urea formaldehyde resin contain 2 monomers. One is urea NH2CO NH2 and formaldehyde HCHO. Okay, this is the structure of, this is the part of urea NH, C double bond O NH. This is the part of formaldehyde taken n times. This is the structure of urea formaldehyde resin. And here it is used for the manufacture of unbreakable cups, unbreakable materials, unbreakable plastics, and laminated sheets. Okay, laminated covers, already we know about the laminated covers. For that we use the, okay, urea formaldehyde resin. And here glyptol. Glyptol, it is also one of the important polymeric molecule, condensation polymer. It is prepared by using 2 materials. One is ethylene glycol and taulic acid. This is also one of the polyester. This is also one of the polyester. It contains 2 monomers. One is ethylene glycol and second one is taulic acid. Here this is the structure of, okay, here this is the structure of glyptol. O CH2 CH2 COO and here phenyl ring and here CO. This is the part of phthalic acid, this is the part of ethylene glycol. Both lose water molecule and form the ester. This we called as ethylene glycol phthalate. Ethylene glycol phthalate polymer, like that. It is used for the manufacture of paints and lacquers. Manufacture of paints and lacquers. Then final, yesterday we discussed, last video we discussed bakelite. Bakelite means cross-linked phenol formaldehyde resin. Cross-linked phenol formaldehyde resin we called as bakelite. Here phenol, formaldehyde are the monomers. This is the structure of phenol formaldehyde resin. So many structures are there. Cross-linked are linear. Okay, here it is linear and we have cross-linked also. Okay, it is used for the manufacture of combs, electric switches, handles. Handles which are used in the motor vehicle, two-wheeler or four-wheeler, like that. Computer discs. This is about the here some importance of commercial polymers. Then in continuation we'll see the classification of types of polymers based on the structure. Types of polymers based on the structure. Based on the structure, polymers are three types. Based on the structure, polymers are three types. One is linear polymers. Second one, branched polymers. Third one, cross-linked polymers. Here I wanted to discuss these three with the examples. Here types of polymers. Based on the structure. Based on the structure, polymers classified into three types. Here three types. One is linear polymers, branched polymers, cross-linked polymers. Here linear polymers means straight chain polymers. There is no branching, only straight chain. These are also called as long chain polymers. Straight chain polymers. These are also called as straight chain polymers. All monomer molecules are arranged in a linear manner. So many examples are there for the linear polymers. HDPE, high density polyethylene, polystyrene. Polystyrene, all these are the polyvinyl chloride, PVC, are the best example for linear polymers. These are also called as long chain polymers. The strength of these very less. These linear polymers are mainly used for the manufacture of soft toys, and soft plastic articles. Like rubber-like materials. This is about the linear polymers. Next, branched polymers. These are having little bit low density compared to the linear polymers. Branched means linear. We have the linear. Here linear arrangement is linear, but we have little bit branch. Here we have little bit branch. This is the branched polymers. Low density polyethylene. Low density polyethylene, cellulose acetate, glycol, Okay, phenol formaldehyde resin. Phenol formaldehyde resin 2. We have the linear is there, branched is there, and cross-linked also is there. Okay, these are the example for the best example for the branched polymers. These branched polymers are prepared. These branched polymers used for the preparation of the medium rigid polymers. Medium rigid polymers. Medium rigid polymers means we call as unbreakable things, unbreakable plastics. These are prepared. These are used for the preparation of the unbreakable parts. Unbreakable parts. And here in continuation we'll see the cross-linked polymers. Cross linkages means here we have the cross linkage, completely linkage. Here we have the completely cross linkage is there. Completely cross linkage is there. Complete cross linkage is there. That means horizontal line and vertical line. Both will be attached. Both will be attached. Then we call as cross linked polymers. Here urea formaldehyde resin, melamine formaldehyde resin, phenol formaldehyde resin, wax materials. All these are the best example for the cross-linked polymers. Cross-linked polymers means these are having cross linkages. These are having cross linkages. That means horizontal line should be attached to the completely attached to the vertical line. Horizontal line should be attached or completely attached to the horizontal line, completely attached to the vertical line. Vertical line completely attached to the horizontal line. Here this urea formaldehyde resin or melamine formaldehyde resin, phenol formaldehyde resin used for the preparation of raincoats and tough polymers. These are the rigid polymers. Somewhat hard polymers compared to the here branched polymers and linear polymers. These are having more boiling point and melting point. Here these materials are used for the manufacture of electric switches. And so many materials, radio and TV articles, carbonates like that will prepare by using these cross-linked polymers. By using this cross-linked polymers. This is about the just types of polymers based on the structure. Based on the structure, polymers are classified into 3 types: linear polymers, branched polymers, and cross-linked polymers. These cross-linked polymers are also called as 3-dimensional polymers. Cross-linked polymers are also called as 3-dimensional polymers. This is about the types of polymers based on the structure. We discussed different types of polymers. Based on the source, polymers are 3 types: natural polymers, semi-synthetic polymers, synthetic polymers. And based on the structure, 3 types. And based on the number of monomers, homopolymers and here copolymers. Copolymers are different copolymers are there: random copolymer, alternate copolymer, random copolymer, alternate copolymer, graft copolymer, black copolymer. And already we discussed about the copolymerization mechanism and copolymerization in copolymers. Here in continuation we'll see the molecular mass of polymers. Molecular mass of polymers. It is impossible to determine. It is impossible to determine molecular mass of the polymer. Why? Polymer has so many units, so many monomeric units. Polymer have so many monomeric units, so many monomeric units. Due to the more units present in a polymer, we can't determine the molecular mass of the polymer approximately. We can't determine the molecular mass of the polymer. And perfectly, not approximately. Perfectly. So instead of that complete determination of molecular mass of the polymer, here we'll discuss the average molecular weight methods. Here we use average molecular methods: average molecular mass or average molecular weight determination method. Okay, here we'll see the molecular mass of polymers. Molecular mass of polymers. Here we have so many methods for the determination of the molecular mass of the polymers, but all are the average methods. All are the average method. One is number average. Okay, number average molecular mass method, molecular weight method or molecular mass method. Okay, second one, weight average or mass average. Molecular mass method, weight average or mass average, molecular method. And third one, viscometry. Viscometry means we have to determine okay, molecular mass of the polymer by using their viscosity values, but we don't have this viscometry in our syllabus. This we called as viscosity average molecular mass method, but we don't have the viscosity in PU level, in 12th class level. And here one more is there, osmometry. Osmometry means okay, we have to determine the molecular weight of the average molecular weight of the polymer by using osmotic pressure. This is also called as osmotic molecular mass method. Okay, here we have three important methods. One is number average molecular mass method, weight average molecular mass method, and here osmometry. That means here we have to determine the molecular mass of the polymer by using osmotic pressure. Already we know about the osmotic pressure. This topic is present in a solution chapter in second PUC part 1. Okay, here I wanted to discuss number average molecular mass. Number average mass of the polymer indicate with M. Number means N, average means bar. This is the symbol for the number average. Okay, number average molecular mass. Number average molecular mass indicates number average molecular mass of the polymer indicate with M, capital M, small n, bar. Bar means average, N means number of molecules, M means mass. Okay, here what is the number? How we determine the molecular mass of the polymer by using this number average molecular mass method. Okay, here total mass of the ratio between total mass of polymer by total number of polymers. What is the principle? Okay, the ratio between, what is the definition? Definition means use the ratio between like this. The ratio between total mass of the polymer, total number of polymers. Okay, here if any polymer contains polymer sample contain number of polymers. First polymer mass M1, second polymer mass M2, third polymer mass M3, like that, Mn. Okay, that means N1 molecules of polymer mass is N1, N2 molecules of polymer mass is M2. N3 molecules of mass is M3. Okay, here N number of like this. Okay, here polymer sample contain 3 polymers. If polymer sample contain 3 polymers, Mn is equal to total mass of the polymer. Mass of the polymer means polymer contain number of molecule. Mass of the monomer and mass of the monomer and number of molecules of polymer. Number of molecules present in that polymer. Okay, this represents total mass of the polymer. Okay, total mass of the polymer means okay the product of mass of that particular monomer and number of molecules plus second one N2 plus N3 plus like this. Okay, next here number of molecules of this one is N1, number of molecules of this one is N2, number of molecules of this one is N3 plus like this. Okay, this is the principle. This is the principle for the calculation of mass of the polymers by using number average molecular mass method. Okay, this may be written like this. Okay, sigma means total, m mass n by sigma n. Okay, this is also one of the mathematical representation of this number average molecular mass of the polymer. Okay. Okay, then in continuation we'll see the one more important method, weight average. Okay, here I want to discuss weight average. After that, osmometry. Weight average. Okay, here it is a different. Here we are using different formula. Second one, weight average molecular mass. Weight average molecular mass means weight average or mass average. Molecular mass means m. Okay, here m. Mass means if you use mass here, we use the m bar average. Or one more symbol is there, m. Weight means w and here symbol bar. Okay, if you use mass average molecular mass means m bar. Okay, mass average molecular weight average molecular mass means mw bar. These are the symbols, these are the different representations for the weight average molecular mass. Here how we calculate the weight average molecular mass? Okay, by using this principle. Okay, here M1, if molecule contain M1, M2 monomers like that mass. Okay, N1, N2, N3 polymers like that. M1 square N1 plus M2 square N2 M3 okay square N3 plus dash. Here total mass of the polymer. Total mass of the polymer means M1 N1 plus M2 N2 plus M3 N3 plus dash like this. This is the one formula for the calculation of polymers, calculation of mass of the polymer by using weight average molecular mass. Weight average molecular mass. This may be represent like this. Okay, MW is equal to sigma m square n by sigma m n. Sigma n. This is the one mathematical representation of the weight average molecular mass of the polymer. Then third method, osmometry. By using osmotic pressure. Okay, here we have the one equation, that is Van 't Hoff dilute solution equation. Van 't Hoff dilute solution equation. What is that Van 't Hoff dilute solution equation? It is derived from Van 't Hoff Boyle's law, Van 't Hoff Charles law, Van 't Hoff Avogadro's law. Okay, what is that Van 't Hoff Boyle? What is the Van 't Hoff dilute solution equation? Pi V is equal to nRT. Pi means osmotic pressure, V means, okay, here volume of the solution, dilute solution, N is number of moles, here R is, okay, here Van 't Hoff dilute solution constant, okay, T is the temperature in Kelvin, N is equal to number of moles, okay, here I am writing pi is the osmotic pressure, V is volume of solution, polymeric solution, N is equal to number of moles of polymer. Okay, how to calculate the number of moles? Number of moles is equal to weight of that polymer and molecular weight of that polymer. By using this principle, you have to calculate the, okay, number of moles. This may be represented like this: W by M. W means weight of the polymer, M means molecular weight of the polymeric solution. Okay, here R is equal to, okay, here dilute solution constant, It is a constant. Its value is 0.0821 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. Okay, here 8.314 joules per mole per Kelvin. 8.314 into 10 to the power of 7 ergs per mole per Kelvin. 1.98 is nearly equal to the 2 calories per mole per Kelvin. Okay, in different methods we have the different R values, dilute solution constant, but I took only 4 values in ergs and calories and joules and liter atmosphere. These are the values of dilute solution constant. T is the temperature. T is equal to temperature in Kelvin only. And here what is the N value? N is equal to W by M. Pi V is equal to, okay, W by M T. Molecular weight now, we calculate here molecular weight of the polymer. Molecular weight of the polymer M is equal to, okay, what? WRT by pi V. If you know the osmotic pressure, okay, we have to calculate the molecular mass of the polymeric solution. Okay, this is also one of the important topic. This we called as a osmometry. Okay, That what is the meaning of osmometry? Okay, the determination of molecular mass of the polymer by using osmotic pressure values, called as osmometry. Okay, here what is the W here? Weight of the polymer. M is the molecular mass of the polymer. R is the dilute solution constant. T is the temperature. Okay, pi is the osmotic pressure, and here V is the volume of the solution. By using this, we have to calculate the molecular mass of the polymeric solution. Okay, here in continuation in next video we will discuss okay, biodegradable polymers. One simple polymer is there, two simple polymers are there. We'll discuss biodegradable polymers and rubber, neoprene, isoprene, natural rubber, vulcanization process. We'll discuss the topic, okay, next video. That is the final video for the polymer. Okay, next video we'll discuss later. This is about the, okay, different topics present in a polymers. Thank you. And one more thing, my request, radar or any other. Okay, you should write complete notes of this one. Complete notes of this one. Otherwise, it become big problem to. It will become big problem to you. Okay, nowadays we have the more and more time to read, not to read, write. Watch all the faculties videos till the end of the video. Okay, till the end of the video, and write what you listen, what you watch in that video. Okay, just write in rough book, then do the fair. It is important, it is compulsory to your career. Okay, next, after that, okay, you should maintain the fair notes. Not only one subject. Okay, you will keep the fair notes for the all subjects. It is important for your life. Okay, no one is responsible for your life. Okay, thank you.